Elle Ingalls here at ellingalls.com, pressure-free.com. Good morning or hello, wherever you are, whenever you're watching this. Hello. Um, for those of you who don't know me, I am the creator of the pressure-free method. It's an on-the-go stress management method that lets your body and mind be optimal and amazing and allows you to experience all sorts of improvements that you might not have ever thought were possible for you. So this morning, I was like, what am I going to put on? And I grabbed this t-shirt. This was from one of my coaches programs, and it was called Aspire, was the program that I was in. And this was a t-shirt she gave us, Aspiration in Motion. And I want to chat just a little this morning about the power of getting involved with a coach, because I was really, when I first started my business in 2010, I wouldn't have started it if I didn't have a mentor in my life. So I asked someone to be my mentor. I was working on a financial business at the time and financial consulting to nonprofit executives. And when I brought my program to this mentor, showed him what I wanted to do, we talked for quite a while. He gave me some ideas, and then he just paused and said, I've read your bio online, and I don't think this is what you should be doing. You're one of the most multi-talented people I've ever met, and this is not it. And I remember my face just kind of falling, like, oh no, I've worked so hard on this, and you're telling me to shelve it? And he said, just stay open. Just stay open. Those were some of the wisest words I've ever had said to me, because just 2 nights later was when my older 2 boys said, Mother, you should coach our baseball team in your mental toughness tips. So I stayed open. And then here I am creating this whole thing, working really hard on this. And all of a sudden they say this, and I start working really hard on this. And pressure-free living came into being because of that openness and that one sentence. Had I not had a mentor in my life, I probably would have been just grinding and doing this other consulting thing that I'm really good at. Like I've always been really good at numbers in finance, and I created a very cool method for nonprofits to stay on top of their numbers. And I've taught it to executives. I was hired for several years in a row to teach it to some of the top nonprofit executives in the country. So that was cool, right? But that's not what I was supposed to do. And thank goodness I had that mentor in my life. I'm used to mentoring because as a classically trained violinist, from the time I was really little, I had one-on-one private lessons every single week. And then as a conductor, I had seminars with small groups of people, very intense times where we're conducting and being corrected and fixed and worked on. Everything from our facial demeanor to our hands to our posture, like everything's being worked on all the time. So used to a lot of criticism as well. So it wasn't new for me to be working with a coach, working one-on-one with mentors and coaches. But I know it's new for a lot of people. Like you may have never had that experience before. And so I just want to share a little bit about it and what it's done for me and what I bring to my coaching and to the people who come to work with me in my experience. I went into my first very expensive mastermind program when I had taken an online course. It was like a $497 course with the best-selling author, Robert Allen. Actually, back it up. Before then, I read Robert Allen and Mark Victor Hansen's books, 1 Minute Millionaire, Cash in a Flash, which were books about creating businesses. And the books just caught my eye in the library. I love to see what the librarians put out for display. And that's how I got involved with listening and a CD book and reading those particular books. And I followed what they said. Actually, that's how I got the mentor in my life. I followed the instructions of putting a mentor in my life. So from the mentor in my life, I then went and took this little online course, and you got to go for free to an experience out in San Diego with Robert Allen. About 150 people there. And he had applications to do a year-long mentorship training with him in a small mastermind, about 13 people, I believe we were. And so I applied and I got accepted. And a lot of people applied and didn't get accepted, but he saw something in my business. He saw something that I was trying to do, and he believed in that. So I went into that mastermind. Robert Allen's still my friend today. I wouldn't have written Pressure Free Parenting probably had I not gone in for a little 3-month experience with him to write a book in 90 days. So Pressure Free Parenting is a book right on Amazon, and you can go check it out. So that was the first mastermind I did. I met some of the most amazing people and some of my dearest friends to this day in that mastermind. We got coaching clients from being in that mastermind. The first was the wife of one of my friends in that mastermind. And that was my first time ever coaching somebody online, 2012. And she was in Puerto Rico. And it was a fabulous experience that I probably might not have ever had I not thought about up-leveling to coaching online. And this is 2012, way before 2020. So I've been coaching online ever since. People all over the world, all over the place can come and work with me because we have this wonderful technology. Then after I had done that program, a couple of years went by and I took an online program to understand how to build a signature course. I had built some online courses, but I knew I was missing something. I was missing something in them. So I went to the best coaches in the country down in Florida, Maria Andros. This was her shirt. She only coaches physicians and chiropractors now, but back then she was coaching a lot of different people, and we had a really special group of women, mostly women with a few enlightened guys in there, one of whom is still my accountability partner to this day. We met out at her program when she was in LA, and for 5 years now we talk every Monday. We've hardly missed any. We occasionally will miss a Monday together because of travel or whatever, but 5 years accountability partners and deep friendship. And then my other daily accountability partner I met through this group as well. So one of the things I want to bring forward is that when you go into a coaching program like the one I have built for 2022, the coaching, the Pressure Free certification program, where you're going to learn, master, and be able to teach Pressure Free to others with all of my assets. I'm going to make all of my assets available to you in that program. You meet amazing people. You may meet someone who becomes your best friend for life. I've met 2 best friends for life in mastermind programs. One most recently with Shanda Sumter. So I've been in Shanda Sumter's program for almost a year now, a year in April, I believe. And it was my accountability partner, Tim. I said, I really miss our program with Maria. We would go to Florida twice a year to work deeply with her. And he goes, well, have you checked out Shanda Sumter? And I'm like, no, I haven't. And it's been really amazing to be in not just her business program, but also her leadership program. So I kind of went all in when I started working with her. When you work with a coach, you choose the coach carefully, but when you choose the coach and it feels like a good fit, it resonates with you. If you feel a pull, if you feel like they can teach you something that's going to get you to that next level, and if you get some one-on-one time with any of the coach themselves or any of the people that work for them, that can be amazing experience, especially if you never got those one-on-one music lessons or one-on-one athletic lessons. The way that you get good at something is when you invest and immerse. And I've done that periodically throughout my last career here. Certainly did it as a musician, as a professional musician. I was constantly in immersion, paying not only tuition at college, but I actually would pay private coaches. I had a private theory coach that most of our conducting students or those who weren't even the program that wanted to become conductors. We actually studied privately with an amazing theorist, music theorist, and we paid her our own money, like to go do that, as we're also paying for college. So I've been used to investing in my education. And even at almost 60, gonna be 60 this year, investing in yourself is truly, truly something that pays dividends in ways you can't even imagine, because of how it will challenge you, move you forward. Oh, and I've gone over my 8 minutes, but on that note though, watch out that when you go into programs, that they're not all adrenalized, that they don't have you like all hype, hype, hype. If you get too hypey, you're going to release way too much adrenaline, and then you'll hit crashes. So I see some people come into programs and they get all hyped and then they crash, and they hype and then they crash. You want to get off that roller coaster. So that's what we do here at Pressure Free. We get you off the emotional roller coaster. We get you out of the crazy hamster wheel where you're just spinning your wheel and not going anywhere. And we have you push a Ferris wheel. Kind of crazy, but that's how it works. So it was a great pressure-free weekend. I may come on a couple times because some cool things are happening in our family, and it's just exciting. Have a great pressure-free weekend.